Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to RealLifeOORA. I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys a tutorial on how to start off with Photoshop. So as you may or may not know, I use Photoshop daily in my life, both by creating artwork for people and then also for my YouTube channel. I enjoy it, and I actually learned it myself, just like many other people do. I guess all people must learn it from someone, or unless they go ahead and just learn it themselves. But anyways, today I'm going to be starting a series where I'm going to be showing you guys, you beginners, everything about Photoshop. Okay, so first, today we're just going to be looking at Photoshop, because when you first open it up, just like I thought, it's very intimidating. The first time you open it, there's a million different buttons, million different things, and all you can think of is, how am I supposed to learn all of this? Don't worry, it's really simple. A lot of people have the same idea and same thoughts, that they'll never be able to learn everything, and it's super confusing, but it's not. We're going to run through it, so don't worry. Your top left-hand corner, you can see we have the Photoshop logo along with the File, Edit, Image, Layer, and all these other tabs, okay? So these are the tabs that you'll be focused on, mainly File, Edit, and Image, and sometimes Window and Filter when you get some more intense actual projects that you're working on. The top right-hand corner, you guys can see we have the Minimize, Windowed, and Close button, okay? And a little bit right below that, we have our color and swatches. Now these allow you to go ahead and select different colors for things like paintbrushes, gradient tools, and pencils and everything. It's really simple to go ahead and switch the different colors. I normally just keep it on colors because all you have to do is just double click on it. It opens up this window and you can choose whatever color you want under the sun. You can see you can scroll here, or you can go ahead and enter an actual number in if you know the code for the number. We're going to choose this little purpley color. That looks pretty cool. And so this is called your foreground and this is called your background. They're basically two colors that allow you to switch between them. So let's go ahead and let's just set the background before I explain why. We'll just choose blue. Why not? Blue's a nice color. So you see now we have the purple and the blue as a foreground and the background. Foreground is always in front, background is always in back. So if we were to go ahead and open up a document right now and start editing, we would just be coloring with purple. Even if we click on blue, it'll just keep popping this up, but it'll keep coloring in purple. It won't be until we actually switch the colors themselves and make blue the foreground and purple the background. Well, the one process for doing this is to go ahead and actually open this up and manually turn it to blue. Open this up and manually turn it to purple. And there. Now that takes a long time, and also sometimes you don't get the exact colors that you had before. So a really easy way to do this is to hit X on your keyboard, and you can see they switched. By hitting X on your keyboard, it switches the foreground and background and allows you to have higher productivity and efficiency. Okay? Right below that, you guys can see a whole bunch of adjustments such as saturation, exposure, color balance, everything like that. Don't worry, those things will make sense later on when we do some more intense projects. And below that, you have your layers tab. Okay? Whenever you want to create a new layer, you have to go to the bottom right hand corner and click on the layer tab. Okay? We'll show you that as soon as we get a file actually loaded up. On your left hand side, you guys can see all the tools that we have. Like I mentioned, you have your paintbrush tool or your pencil tool, but you also have other tools like your cursor, your lasso tool, your magic wand tool, dropper tool, gradient tool, stamp tool, a whole bunch of tools. Really good and really helpful. Okay? So don't worry about those. I'll explain those in a second. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to load up an actual project. So we're going to hit File, New, or Control-N if you prefer to do that. We're going to name this as, I don't know, YouTube tutorial. We're going to have the width set to 1280 and the height set to 720 pixels. Make sure it's in pixels, and the resolution is 72 pixels per inch. Make sure this is pixels because sometimes default it comes in inches, and if you have this set to inches, it will be a big file. Okay, I chose 1280 by 720 because that's a very standard size for an image. Really, you can change this to whatever you want as long as it is able to do it on whatever you're uploading to. Some sites list the resolutions or the width and height that you can set for maximum, such as Facebook banners, Twitter banners, avatars, everything like that. So just look those up, okay? The background contents, this one is a little bit important depending on what you're doing. Right now we have it set to white, and we'll load it up in white. However, you have background color, which automatically sets it to your background color, or you have transparent. Transparent is used when you go ahead and want to load up a Photoshop PNG file. A Photoshop PNG file is a file that gives a checkered mark everywhere where the image is not, okay? And by doing that, when you actually render or save the file, it makes that checkered area invisible. So say you have a star on your video, okay? If you did not have it set as a PNG, it would have the white space or whatever color space around the actual star. However, if you export it or save it as a PNG file with a transparent background, it goes ahead and removes all that background white space and turns it to invisible. So now you just have the image of the star. But we're going to worry about that later and just choose the white background. We're going to hit OK, and this should create our file. You can see it right here. This is our workspace. This white area is what we can work on. Okay? Now you see right here, we also on the right hand corner with the layers, we have a new background tab. So this is a new layer. It's locked currently because this is our background. And we're going to just use the paintbrush tool just so you get used to that. It's right here. If it's not showing up, then the pencil tool might be there. You just hold it and then move it to the brush tool. Up here, you can see that these options changed up here. We can set our size to whatever we want. We'll set it to 19. You can change your hardness to whatever you want. And you can select whatever brush tool you want, okay? Your brush head. You can also download more brush heads offline, and hopefully you guys can find some that are really interesting because there's a lot of them out there. You can change your opacity. That basically just changes the hardness, or not the hardness, but the level that the actual brush is showing, so you can see images through it, basically like transparency. So in order to do this, we can either start just drawing immediately, but that's a bad plan. We're going to hit Control Z just to get rid of this right now. What you really want to do and get into a habit of early on is to create a new layer. So like I said earlier, go to the bottom right hand corner and click this image that looks like a piece of paper with a folded corner. It also says create a new layer when you hover over it. We're going to click it. You can notice that layer 1 has popped up right above the background. So creating new layers is really helpful, and it's a good idea to get accustomed to, because when you create a new layer, it basically forms everything on that layer. So it better organizes and also lessens the amount of mistakes you can make. And also, if you want to go ahead and make a whole bunch of undos because you made a mistake or you're not really pleased, instead of just hitting undo a million times, you can just delete the layer. I'll show you that in a second. So right now, just play around with it, draw on it, do whatever you want. We're going to draw a little smiley face. There we go. And like I said, if you want to switch between your two colors, just hit X, and now we have our second color. Okay. So let's go ahead and create a new layer. We have layer 2. Make sure layer 2 is both visible with the eye and highlighted in blue. And we're going to choose a new color. This new color is going to be brown. It's a yucky color. So we're scribbling on top of this. But you think, you know, this is stupid. Plus we're going to make a whole bunch of dirt marks. So this is stupid. I don't want this. You could hit Control Z and it removes each line that you made, then Control Alt Z to remove lines past that. But that could take forever. Say we don't want it. You could either hide it, which removes it entirely, or you can just delete it. And you see that saves us a lot of trouble. So that's it for today, guys. I'm going to be uploading a new one tomorrow, and I'll be going further in depth. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give a thumbs up down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.